So my name is Pyry Grönholm and I'm from Prosys OPC. Okay, let's see. To save some time, I removed my slides about my own presentation, who I am, but shortly, I have more than 25 years of experience in the IT/OT integration, originally as a software developer and later more like a project manager and eventually then taking care of also the business side in Prosys OPC. So currently I'm CEO. While like the OPC UA, why I feel that it's important is I kind of don't care like what technologies that we use, but I have a vision how things should go, and I try to illustrate it with a few slides. So let's think about that. We have a system that we have one production line and an edge device and then MES that is controlling that. And everything's working fine. So how about that when we onboard a new production line? Like how much labor work is needed to do that, like in perfect world? Well, I think how things should go is pretty much that production line is register itself to the edge. The MES actually get notified that, hey, here is a new production line and it has this kind of capabilities. It will just automatically add it to its like list of resources and then just send out the production order. So actually, I think it shouldn't need any labor work. The production line should be onboarded automatically. Same way if we add a new IT system, let's say an incident management system. So why would that be configured? Why it doesn't just connect to the edge, scan everything that is connected there, and then after that just like starting to get notified if something is wrong, and based on that making like decision whether it will create a ticket for the maintenance or something else. So this is like my vision. This is how things should work in the OT/IT integration. And to achieve something like this, we need standards. And at the present world, the only standard that is even trying to somehow like achieve this kind of world is OPC UA. And that's why OPC UA is important. So as I'm the last presenter today, so I thought that like, how about keeping people a little bit alive and have in this not very sexy industrial automation world like a topic that would at least elicit some emotions. So let's talk about OPC UA and UNS. So and well, just shortly, like here in this for this audience, I don't think that we need to really. I don't need to really explain like what is OPC UA, but like still like one thing that we need to always keep in mind that OPC UA is a standard. OPC Foundation is a standardization body for a standard. So while if we now go to what is UNS, that's some great idea that we could do things somewhat like this, and then everyone can then create their own kind of like implementation. But what's the great idea in the UNS? Because in a way, I think it's a great idea. The problem is not the idea. The idea is that you have one place where you have all the data, which is structured in a logical hierarchy, and it's easily available there for everyone. That's of course like something that my vision requires as well. The integration to that should be easy, so it should be available with some protocol that basically everyone supports and it is to use, and MQTT is a typical way to do that, like in the implementations. But what is the challenge? The payload is not defined at all, for example, and honestly, like the topic tree it's just an idea that it should be logical. Now I start to actually see UNS implementation on our customer base. So what are the challenges? The topic tree becomes a mess, really. Like the different type of data sources, either they are not capable or they are just like whoever is implementing it is not really following even the standards for that specific UNS. So the actual logical structure looks like our, let's say, company, like what's that, like the shared file system, which has been built over the 30 years. There is a lot of different type of payloads, and it's just like it honestly it can be anything, and that makes the data actually a little bit hard to use. In MQTT, like to actually achieve like a real UNS in the sense that the data would be available there all the time, and for even for the new MQTT clients or subscribers, you should use the retain messages. What happens there is that using the retain messages then kind of, well, if not destroy the performance, but let's say it's not exactly like a superior to performance anymore. So and while there is no linkage to metadata, like the life of AI gets rather hard. So these are like challenges from the real world, and I have some ideas now how to tackle them. So how about we combine the OPC UA and the MQTT UNS style of system. In OPC UA server, it's rather straightforward using information models, create actually a logical hierarchy that is standard. And when we bring this logical hierarchy then to the MQTT topic tree, suddenly like we could ensure that the UNS topic tree is or stays like clean if all the publishers would actually work this way. If we would use like the OPC UA pops up like standardized payload, suddenly we get rid of the payload problem. What if we read the metadata from Cloud Library, for example, like getting the information models this way, also available for the AI, suddenly we are able to tackle that problem as well. And if we want to get like some kind of like a global UNS, so why not publish the data from aggregating OPC UA servers from different factories to one single MQTT broker, following these rules, and this is the way to actually get a clean UNS. Yeah. So, at this point, I almost would say that like the UNS and OPC UA like rather frequently like this or like addressed by certain influencers. They are not like competing technologies. You should use them both to actually get something usable. But now I go even a little bit further in my thoughts, because I have been a little bit irritated from the beginning that are we actually inventing a wheel again? And I think we are. So actually, who says that the MQTT is the best place or the MQTT broker to have this UNS? Why the UNS? If you want to have a place where you have all your data in structured format using like standard or like available in a standardized way easily, why it just wouldn't be an aggregating OPC UA server, probably then in the cloud, which is then linked to the aggregating the aggregating servers from the factories. It actually like provides all the features of the UNS MQTT version and much more. I know I'm probably putting my hands on a bee nest, but this is really my like final thoughts about the UNS, that it doesn't really bring much more. Although I do understand in certain use cases the benefits of the MQTT. Well, we have a product, Forge, which of course solves all your problems, and you can use it for all these things that I described. So here is kind of like a reference architecture. We have here like the OT devices, like whatever they are. In Forge, you bring your information models, like they can be the companion specifications or something that you have made yourself. You structure the data, and eventually you publish the data, or you use locally the data using OPC UA from example MES systems, or you can publish the data as such to some MQTT broker in the cloud, or you can, for example, put another Forge in the cloud, which then use the OPC UA reverse connect to connect the local Forge installations and aggregating the all data from all sites to this one place. And well, it's actually even rather easy. So if I even like now put a little bit more product placement here, so our Forge, like the three things that we have focused on it, is that it's based on standards, it's easy to use, and it has great performance. So the performance won't be your issue if you try to do something like I described. Okay, thank you. Any questions?